It's a beautiful day on the San Francisco Bay, Candlestick Park. Buffalo Bills, best in the AFC the last 2 years against the San Francisco 49ers, best in the NFL in the 80s. And they're excited here. They feel in the West Coast, and particularly here in San Francisco, this could be a prelude to a possible Super Bowl matchup in January. But Buffalo, the top touchdown-making team in the NFL last year with that no-huddle offense. How are the 49ers going to try to stop it?
Well, it presents a problem to San Francisco, primarily because this is a big substitution defense, Dick. What Buffalo tries to do is lock your defense on the field. What San Francisco has come up with is kind of a hybrid defense. It's not the defense they like to play for a long extended period of time, but at least it's a defense they feel that they can stop both the run of Buffalo and also get some pressure on Steve Young.
I will see that 49er defense later. They'll get the ball first. They've won the toss. Steve Christie kicks it off and sends a squirrely bounder down to the 3-yard line. Amp Lee, the rookie from Florida State, out of bounds at the 22-yard line. And here come the 49ers and Steve Young, their quarterback from BYU. Joe Montana watching on the sidelines. Wallace, he'll have his hands full. He'll have to stop Bruce Smith, McIntyre, Sapolu, Foster, and Barton, a tough, experienced offensive front. Young, the quarterback. Ricky Waters from Notre Dame, 100 yards rushing last week in the opener. Tom Rathman had 3 touchdown catches, a San Francisco record for a running back. Of course, the familiar names Taylor and Rice outside, and Brent Jones, the tight end. From the 22, Young comes out throwing and hit. And Rice is drilled after a 12-yard pickup at the 34-yard line as Nate Odoms and Kurt Schultz hit him from opposite sides in a sandwich tackle.
Dick, interesting thing. First thing, Bruce Smith lined up on the opposite side of where he normally is for the Buffalo Bills, trying to get some added pressure on Steve Young. Young stands in there. Excellent completion. There was pressure. That's Odoms 37. You see that inside, just a little hitch, just to get San Francisco's feet on the ground. Schultz with a big hit.
Rice showing his toughness to get back in the huddle. First down at the 34. Waters and Rathman split behind Young. Play action, and the throw to Rathman. 40, 44, 45. A pickup of 10 more before Odoms and Jones can make the stop.
It's hard to talk about the San Francisco 49ers without mentioning Bill Walsh. He is a big proponent, was a big proponent of play action faking. Rathman right up through the line of scrimmage, holds everybody. Singles Jones on Rathman, who has turned out this season to be an excellent receiver. He told us yesterday at practice, last 2 years just been a blocker primarily, but they're getting him into the passing game.
They mark it down just across the 44, the measurement for the first down, as Jerry Rice continues his consecutive streak. It is a first down. The brilliant receiver from Mississippi Valley State has now caught a pass in 97 straight games. What a tremendous talent just to come to an NFL game and know you're going to see Jerry Rice. He is a premier player and working himself close to that 100 touchdown mark. He has 97 total touchdowns, 93 touchdown catches. He'll have the record. First down, Young brings Rice in motion. First running play, and it's Waters to the 49. Good gain, 5 yards. Jeff Wright and Henry Jones with a tackle. Ricky Waters, 32. He's idle O.J. Simpson.
Now we've seen 4 snaps of the ball. Now this time Bruce Smith is over here. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills are trying as best they possibly can to make sure that San Francisco's offensive line does not get a real look at where Bruce Smith is. Roy Foster, an excellent block to the inside.
Smith went for Rathman, but it was Waters with the ball. Good start for the Niners. 28 yards on 3 plays. 2nd and 5. Young over the middle, complete to Waters, and he's in Buffalo territory at the 49. Another San Francisco first down. Henry Jones from Illinois, second-year safety with a tackle.
Another feature of the San Francisco offense, always have somebody to throw it to. You see the little halfback circle that Waters runs. Lots of motion around there, but again, they're trying to isolate Henry Jones, 20, first season, second game at safety. on these running backs, and San Francisco is winning that battle, Dick.
Young, 3 for 3. He was the top quarterback in the rating system in 1991. Play action to Waters. Young looking for something big. Has Rice downfield. And just missed by a step. Nate Odoms, the cover man for Buffalo. He had 2 interceptions against the Rams last week.
There's Henry Jones, the guy that it looks like at the initial point here San Francisco is going to pick on. Former corner out of the University of Illinois. Walt Corey says he's got corner speed, but he's playing safety and inside the offense of the San Francisco 49ers. Tight end, running backs, they really keep that safety busy in coverage.
Talked to him yesterday, and his eyes spelled out awe as he talked about the thought of having to cover men like Taylor and Rice today. It's Waters high-stepping his way through the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. Jones and Williams in the safety secondary of Buffalo to make the tackle.
Bruce Smith again out of position, playing standing up on the other side. Excellent lead block by 44 Rathman right at his knees. Big guys don't like to get their pants dirty. They don't like shots on their knees.
Now Bruce Smith in particular, remember last week, upset with the Rams center who blocked him down low. Had a big game with a couple of sacks, 5 pressures, 9 tackles. In Buffalo, Bruce Smith is back, and the fans certainly thinking big things with Smith's play. The throw to Rice, a quickie to the sidelines. It'll be close to a first down at the 34 as Kelso, the free safety, gets Rice out of bounds. See how they mark it. It is another first down. So this has been a very impressive, typical, methodical San Francisco drive with the opening kickoff, taking what the defense gives them. At the 34, around second base on the candlestick baseball alignment. Jamie Williams, tight end on the left side. Rathman and Waters split, and Rice in motion. Waters breaks the tackle of Talley, stays in bounds. No, he stepped out back at the 29-yard line. We welcome those of you who have seen the Kansas City Chiefs win their second game of this young season, beating Seattle at Arrowhead 26-7. This is Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy. San Francisco has taken the opening kickoff and has marched with determination downfield, has 4 first downs, and now has a second down at the Buffalo Bills 29-yard line. 2nd and 5. 49-yard drive with Steve Young, the quarterback, engineering the calls. Mixing up, pass and run, fake to Waters. Wide open is Rathman, a one-handed catch, and the fullback is out of bounds at the 15. $14 more yards for the 49ers.
Fake 18W, fullback slide. Last week, Rathman scored on this play perfectly. You can see the way it holds the Buffalo Bills at the line of scrimmage. Rathman fakes to block at the top, wide open. I mean, come on, Buffalo. You saw this last week work against the Giants. You got to recognize the situation. You got to know what's going on. See Bruce Smith move in there. They can't put Bruce Smith in coverage on Tom Rathman now.
There's some trouble as Waters, he extricates himself and now has to duck down at the 25-yard line. Kurt Schultz, number 24, a rookie from Eastern Washington, was in the midst of all of that. He's been a surprise and a very pleasant one for Buffalo, a 7th-round pick. 10-yard deficit for Marv Levy's Bills, the first big play by his defense.
I think the first thing I'd ask Marv Levy and Walt Corey is, why are they moving these defensive linemen around so much? What do they see in San Francisco's offense that's making them move Bruce Smith from side to side, almost flopping side to side?
Is that a compliment to Steve Wallace?
No, I don't believe so. Not at this point.
2nd down and 19 officially. Young, great scrambler, but he throws to Rice. Rice fumbles the ball, and the 49ers recover at the 12-yard line. Are they going to rule an incomplete pass, or are they going to say no fumble? I just saw the wave off, and they're going to say incomplete pass.
Don't I remember a day when we used to look closely at plays like this, replays? We're looking for the second foot down. Does he have a hold of it? It's Henderson who makes the catch. I don't think a second foot was down. I think that was an excellent call by the officials.
So Steve Henderson was the leading rusher for San Francisco last year. Has seen his duties limited so far by the emergence of Waters.
Control of the football, both feet down. One. I don't think he ever had control of the football. Good call by the officials.
3rd and 19. Young, plenty of time. The cross to Jerry Rice. Gets away from 3 Bills and fights to the 15-yard line, but that won't be near a first down. Gets him back to the spot at the start of this sequence. It'll be 4th and 10, and the field goal unit comes on, and Jerry Rice has not gotten up, and that is a big story anytime he doesn't pop to his feet. Rice still down at the 15-yard line as he drew a pack of white jersey tacklers.
San Francisco likes the crossing patterns. You need big, tough receivers to go into the middle to make those catches. Don't see anything yet. Let's see what happens when he goes down. It was Chris Hale, it looked like, Henry Jones, who rolled up on his ankle, but I'm not sure what part of him they're looking at right now.
Might have caught a knee in the helmet too. Let's look.
I don't know. I can't see anything that really jumps out at you on that one, Dick. But Rice doesn't go down very often.
Such a superbly conditioned athlete, and like so many great players, had ability to elude a direct hit. You tackle him, but you don't really get all of him. In this case, the 3 Bills, and looking as if maybe he just took that blow up around the head. A little woozy.
Well, he's trying to get up, and the doctors and trainers are encouraging him to stay down. You mentioned earlier that it's just a great thrill to sit in the stadium. I know you're going to watch Jerry Rice. As a former receiver, you are talking about another class completely. I mean, you judge most of the people who play receiver, then you include a little extra for Jerry Rice.
He's in the higher league. So Rice with his 3rd catch, and they're going to be very careful before allowing him to get to his feet. See him flexing his hand. It at this point does not appear to be serious, and it obviously is not anything in the lower extremities. So the 49 applause you're hearing at Candlestick.
I have no idea what his injury is, but he looks a little groggy as he gets up there. I don't know if it's a head injury, but he looks just kind of shaking the cobwebs out. He can go to Steve Young and ask how I should feel next after last week.
Young, who was rendered unconscious by Eric Dorsey of the Giants and completed a touchdown pass and didn't even know he did it, was playing without full faculties. So the field goal unit now will deploy itself as Rice comes off the field. Mike Kofer, who was just an average field goal kicker last year for the 49ers, making 14 of 28, and he was only 3 for 10 between 30 and 39 yards, and this one is 33 out of Steve Bono's hole. It is no good. Misses from 33, says Red Cashin. So Buffalo sees San Francisco move downfield almost at will. Then one play misfires. Waters tackled for a 10-yard loss. Have to settle for a field goal try, and Kofer unsuccessful from 33.
When field goal kickers like Mike Kofer miss one from 33 yards, there's no real reason for this. Certainly within his range. It's amazing how they're always able to find the spot on the bench where there are no other players. Snap is good. Bono does a good job getting it down. He just didn't follow through on that one. It goes wide.
So Buffalo takes over first possession at their 20, and it's Thurman Thomas, the National Football League's MVP last year, bursting for nearly 10 on the opening play. Dana Hall, the rookie from Washington, with the tackle. There's Hall, 18th pick in the first round. With a no huddle, trying to play his best 11 against the 49ers best 11, and Thurman Thomas hit up high but drives out to the 33-yard line. Thomas, who has led the National Football League the last 3 seasons in scrimmage yards, and very proud of that, and knows that if he does it this year he'll break Jim Brown's record of 3 consecutive years leading the league in that category. That really does place him in an elite spot as a total player. 2nd and 7, a little delay, and Thomas first ran into John Johnson, who rerouted him right back into Mike Walter.
You see San Francisco trying to make a defensive substitution here. They do at their leisure.
3 pass defenders in, 3 big men out. 3rd down 9. Kelly's first throw wide open is Andre Reed. Punishing tackle, but a first down at the 45-yard line. Hall and Merton Hanks making the stop, but it's 15 yards on Reed's first catch.
Okay, the choice by the 49ers here is to go with a 4-1-5. Watch 98 in red coming from the right. That's Goss. He is the coverage linebacker that the 49ers apparently are going to use here in this passing situation.
Thomas up the middle, 48-yard line. Apparently that's been a design for Marv Levy's pregame strategy. Let's attack San Francisco right up the middle with Thomas.
And you know what they do? This offense goes to the line of scrimmage. They count people from tackle to tackle defensively, and then they decide whether they're going to run or pass.
2nd and 7. Kelly, plenty of time. Now it breaks down. Fumbles the ball. And San Francisco has it. Number 78, Pierce Holt from Angelo State, was the man who dislodged the ball from Kelly.
Kelly looking outside. There you see Holt. He comes right over Parker, 74. Ball does pop loose. Recovered by
Tim Harris, a former Green Bay Packer. So San Francisco with a break. Candlestick Park in San Francisco. We welcome those of you who have seen the Bengals in overtime go 2-0. The Raiders 0-2, 24-21. Jim Breach, a 34-yard field goal. Here no score. San Francisco has just recovered a Jim Kelly fumble at the Buffalo 40-yard line. Steve Young. Plenty action to Waters. And Young, who has averaged over 6 yards every time he scrambled in the NFL, has a big 13 on first round. Jerry Rice, on the first possession for San Francisco, on his 3rd catch, suffered a mild concussion, and we don't know how serious that is. Apparently, he will not play the rest of this first half.
Well, they lose Steve Young last week to a concussion. Jerry Rice this week at the initial stages of a football game.
Boy, that's just not an average loss.
No.
That you don't replace, no matter how good Mike Sherrard might be, Jerry Rice. Inside handoff and not much there. So the 25-yard line where Cornelius Bennett brings his calling card.
Dick, what we've seen here to start, Cornelius Bennett is playing an inside linebacker here for Buffalo. Shane Conlon is moving out to the outside linebacker. Bruce Smith is going from side to side. There's no real end that Bruce Smith is playing to this point.
Right now he's lined up right over the ball.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice is going to go back to the San Francisco locker room, physically showing all faculties, but apparently dazed as he was hit by 3 Bills making a reception earlier in this first quarter. Young, deep drop, scrambles away as he's so talented to do. And down he goes at the 23-yard line with a slide right out about second base here at the Candlestick Park alignment. Shane Conlon there to down him. That'll bring up third down.
Again, we mentioned where this is Bennett inside here. He comes in on the blitz and flushes Steve Young out. Young, that left-handed ability to get out away from the pressure. It's Pike. Excuse me. That's Wright who makes the initial pressure, not Cornelius Bennett, but Steve Young taking the hook slide concession to his coaches.
Third down and 6. 49ers first possession ended when Mike Cofer missed a 33-yard field goal. Young. Wide open. No one picked up. Odessa Turner. The former Giant has a touchdown. Breakdown in the Buffalo defense, and Odessa Turner has his first catch with his new team San Francisco, and it's a 23-yard touchdown. Cofer to try the extra point. Turner, who played his college ball at Northwestern Louisiana, Plan B pickup by San Francisco this year. Cofer's extra point is there, and with 3:26 remaining in the opening quarter, 7-0 San Francisco.
The 49ers are accused of running picks. Well, here is a very, very good one. You watch what happens. The guy on the inside, they just kind of get all bunched up there, and you see Turner just separate from the crowd. Lost coverage. It ends up in 6 easy points.
Odessa, oh my. Turner's 23-yard touchdown reception, the first score of the game. A little rub-off play as Turner's man lost in the confusion, much like picking off your defender in basketball.
Pick and roll. Worked to perfection for Odessa Turner.
And now Cofer to kick it off. Turner, a member of the special teams. Eddie Fuller and Brad Lamb deep for Buffalo. 3:26 left in this opening quarter. The Niners striking first, taking advantage of the Kelly fumble. Good kick by Cofer. Lamb will take the ball at the 20-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown.
You're going to watch it from behind the defense. Young gets good time, looks left. All while the pick and roll is going on, you can see that Turner is completely left uncovered. Kelso makes the contact. Turner, a big guy, gets in the end zone. Seifert likes it.
George Seifert, a San Francisco native.
By ITT Corporation, building people's dreams. And by Fram Oil Filters. Fram, you can pay a little now or a lot later.
On first down, Thurman Thomas struggling for 5 with red jerseys all around. 2nd and 5 for Buffalo. Their first possession ended in Jim Kelly fumble that led to the San Francisco score. Total yards all in 49ers favor on 2 possessions. Thomas now way out as a split on the left side underneath the Metzelaars, the tight end. They run off the defenders, and Metzelaars lumbers out to the 45-yard line. A 20-yard gain for the former Little All-America basketball player at Wabash.
When Thomas blanks out, it distorts the defense. There's no one underneath to cover the tight end Pete Metzelaars. No one at all. Good recognition by Jim Kelly.
Metzelaars' second catch of the season. The Bills are a little short at tight end with Keith McKellar suffering a knee injury. He'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. So Metzelaars, and then they signed this week Rob Awald, veteran tight end who's been around Denver, Dallas, Phoenix. 2nd and 5 at midfield.
Change of play at the line of scrimmage. Something to accommodate this particular defense.
Fake to Thomas. Kelly throwing wide open as Reed, and he turns it upfield, gets a couple more yards to the 27.
See, this is one of the things that this at the line of scrimmage offense does, Dick. It locks people in to a defensive look. And when you can audible at the line of scrimmage, then Jim Kelly can go to a part of his offense that fits that defense perfectly. And that play action fake and throw were perfect.
The only thing wrong with it was Carwell Gardner shouldn't have been that close to Reed. He almost interrupted the play. Now it's Gardner getting a chance to run, maybe picking up a yard. He's a 232-pounder from Louisville, and Marv Levy told us in the summer training camp area that he wanted to use Gardner, a good runner, more. Last year he rushed for only 146 yards.
The interesting thing about this Buffalo offense, it's going to have trouble today against this San Francisco defensive line. I think this is the quickest defensive line there is in the NFL. San Francisco's front four are not great big people. Carter and Brown are certainly big inside, but they all have great initial quickness.
On 2nd and 9, Kelly, who just did get away from big trouble. And now hit out of bounds by Keith DeLong, who was suited up for the first time. DeLong, late in signing with San Francisco from great heritage. His dad was an All-American player at Tennessee, a defensive tackle, and played with the Chargers and Bears in the NFL 7-8 years. Kelly scramble nets 3.
Here comes the hybrid defense now. An extra defensive back, a coverage linebacker, 98 Goss. And they'll try to get Goss 98 hooked onto Thurman Thomas, because Thurman Thomas is the big receiver in this situation.
He's in the backfield. He picks up the blitz. The throw incomplete to Beebe. Good defense by the veteran Don Griffin. It was a solid throw. Kelly had it on a line to Beebe, but the timing on the tackle by Griffin was immaculate.
Again, you can see the blitz coming from the outside. 53, the man on the right-hand side of the screen is Romanowski. Goss, 41, Whitmore also on the blitz. Kelly has to get rid of it a little quicker than he wanted to. Goes to the outlet receiver. Good coverage.
Steve Christie, 2 for 2 last week, tries a 41-yarder. And it is dead center. A little fade to the left. The Bills on the board with 18 seconds left in the opening quarter. 7-3 San Francisco. Fairley just knocked out for a moment when catching his third pass of this first quarter, and then taken back to the dressing room for San Francisco for X-rays or whatever. Back on the field. The word is they probably won't play Rice, if at all, until the second half. Bandage side of that right eye. Might have been kicked by one of the Bills players going over the top as he was being tackled by a mass of defenders. 7-3. Christie hits his third out of 3 tries. Field goals for Buffalo, and now kicks it off. He had 4 out of 8 kickoffs into the end zone against the Rams, and this one deep enough that the Niners elect to take it out at the 20-yard line as Mark Logan with a kneel down, and we have a timeout. 20-yard line. All 6 of San Francisco's first downs by pass, and then another by run, all responsible to Young. Last week he was 4 for 6 before being belted by the Giants' Eric Dorsey and knocked out of the game. Sherrard replacing Rice in motion. Young under some pressure to Waters. Beautiful running by Waters. Who gains 8 on the play. 9 they'll call it. Yeah, the love affair in San Francisco with Ricky Waters, not hurt by that kind of running.
No, yeah, I thought he made a heck of an admission to us yesterday. Came out of Notre Dame, gained 10 pounds. Last year was 230 pounds. Now at 212, he displays great quickness and speed.
Radio Shack is American.
Trying to ice out the cobwebs. 7-3 San Francisco. 2nd and 1 as we open this second quarter from the San Francisco 29. Good hole, and he has 5 more yards. The man who rushed for 100 yards in his first NFL game has 15 here today. Jeff Wright, the tackler. Waters, he wore number 12 with the Irish. Last year out with a broken foot, broken hand, didn't play at all. Said, I wanted 32. He said, even though I didn't see him play, I heard about juice. OJ. And, of course, O.J. Simpson, a native of San Francisco, and last couple of runs by Waters would have made O.J. rather proud. Had a little of that kind of flash and flare. Incomplete. Bruce Smith, who had some deflections last week against Jim Everett, in the way.
Finally, his normal position. This is again an attempt at that fake 18W fullback slide. Try to get the ball to Rathman. Smith is unblocked, able to get off the ground and knock the ball out of the air. I'd sure like to ask Walt Corey what he has in mind with moving his defense all over the field here. We've seen him everywhere.
Now Smith lining up in his usual position again, where Steve Wallace, the left tackle of San Francisco, 74, admitted he's going to have his hands full. Good job by Wallace. They dump out to Waters, and he struggles out to the 38-yard line. Nate Odoms on the corner for Buffalo. Happy with his 2 interceptions last week. He said, I hope I wasn't so good that they won't throw in my direction. I want more picks.
Dick, that little swing pass that we just saw is the absolute secret to the San Francisco offense as designed by Bill Walsh. He has always stated in his offense, complete the pass, make the defense defend every play. And that little fullback swing is the outlet for Steve Young now was for Joe Montana. It's the secret to this offense.
Don't throw it away or don't get the sack. Throw it to somebody.
Make the defense defend every play.
Wide open is Turner again. They've forgotten about Odessa Turner, who's looking for his second touchdown. And he stopped at the 5-yard line. Kurt Schultz saved another score.
I'd say this is a nice beginning for Odessa Turner's career as a San Francisco 49er. And Dick, I think you're absolutely correct. They forgot about him. Jerry Rice out, Odessa Turner in. Good blocking downfield. His first catch for a touchdown. There's his second
Bruce
catch.
Smith injured on the play. Let's see what happened as he works. Gets twisted around as it was Harris Barton, the blocker.
Yeah, he's lined up on the other side from where he normally is, but he's being attended to there on the sideline by, and of course you know he's had the knee problems. No structural damage to his knees, but missed the entire training camp.
2 marquee players on the sidelines now. Jerry Rice for San Francisco, Bruce Smith for Buffalo. And Odessa Turner has caught 2 balls for 80 yards and a touchdown. And the Niners threaten 1st and goal from the 5 for San Francisco early in the second period. And Smith will try to lay in. Now he's coming back out.
Yeah, the Bills were charged with an injury timeout for Bruce Smith, so he can't come in on this play. He's got to stay out at least 1 play.
So Gary Baldinger goes back in. Smith not seriously injured, and of course anytime a great athlete coming off knee surgery and you see him limp away like that,
scary. Millions of dollars flash in front of your eyes if you're the player. Millions.
Young, who's 10 for 13 in this first half. What controversy. Slams to about the 2.
Now Dick, we've seen 2 pass completions off of that play. I've called them fake 18W fullback slide. There's 18W. That's the companion play to the pass that's worked so well for San Francisco last week against the Giants and the early stages of this game.
So you fake that Rathman, throw to Waters, or as the case was last week, Waters running so well, fake it to Waters, throw to Rathman.
Right. You can't cover them both. If you're running the ball well, it ties people to the line of scrimmage. Somebody's going to be open.
Rathman had 3 touchdowns all on receptions last week. That equaled his total for all of last year, 3 touchdowns. And he's right at the goal line, and now the signal, touchdown San Francisco. Rathman has his 4th of the season.
He's a scoring machine, this kid is, huh? Last week he had a decal on the back of his helmet that said no fear. The NFL said, sorry, no decals on the back of your helmet. It's gone, but the scoring touch isn't.
Boy, if anyone doesn't need a decal like that, it's Rathman. I mean, he's what Hollywood looks for when they say, get me a fullback for the next movie. Loves thoroughbred racing as well. Does Rathman. Is a part owner of Bermuda Blue. I said, how's he doing up here? He said, run twice, last twice. I've been able to find him easily. Kofor adds the extra point, and San Francisco leads 14-3. Yard drive in 7 plays. The key play, the Odessa Turner catch for 57 yards. Eddie Fuller 33 deep, along with Brad Lamb for Buffalo. Returnable. It's Fuller at the 9. And returns to the 27. Mark Logan with a tackle. Next week on NBC at 12:30 NFL Live. Thurman Thomas in motion, but Kelly not looking in that direction. It's incomplete to Don Beebe. Covered by Don Griffin. Griffin may be one of the true underrates in the NFL. You just don't hear much about him. He's a quiet guy, but Griffin very tough on the cover, man-to-man or in zone, smart defender, and always seems to do his job well.
He's got some young kids he's playing out there with in this defense too, so he's got to be a real leader.
On 2nd and 10, Kelly guns to Lofton, incomplete. Too high, covered by Eric Davis.
What did James Lofton tell us that Jim Kelly would tell him when he gets back to the huddle? Look it in. Just look it in.
Yeah, whether the receiver makes the mistake or Kelly makes the mistake, that's just the routine now. He's not going to blame anyone, but he even blames himself. He said, look it in.
Look it in.
Throw it in. 3rd and 10. Screen to Thomas. Got some running room. Oh, what a move. 40, 50. And to the San Francisco 49. Is that an all-pro piece of running?
Dick, he outran his blockers. They didn't lay a glove on a San Francisco 49er, and he still picks up the yardage.
25.
It'll happen to the left. Now watch when he catches his ball where his blockers are. He's in front of both of them. So he's out there on his own individual talents picking up 25 yards.
Boy, he made people miss. Pierce Holt finally got him from the backside, and Kelly goes down. Bill Romanowski charging through.
That's one of the problems with this offense of Buffalo. They have such great offensive weapons. You stop them for 2 or 3 downs. It's 3rd down and 10. Bam, little screen. Thurman Thomas breaks it for 27 yards.
2nd and 11. Kelly calling out the plays. A crowd trying to make some noise. Down the middle to Reed. He's open. Tackled at the 19-yard line. Andre Reed stopped by Merton Hanks. 30 yards on that play.
This is not a pattern as much as just simply noticing the alignment of the defensive back on your receiver. Straight up the field. Nothing tricky by Andre Reed. Kelly with a superior throw, and Reed makes the catch.
We're talking to the Atlanta defense about Kelly and his accuracy. And you talk about arm strength and mobility, but accuracy, and Kelly one of the best. That was a perfect throw. 1st down inside the 20. That one not so accurate to James Lofton, but trying to keep it low and away from the defense.
Just a hitch. To follow up on what you said about Jim Kelly, he told us that he didn't like the run and shoot in the U.S. Football League, but it taught him 2 things. Read defenses and throw on the run. So to stay with the Houston Gamblers, he thought a very valuable run.
Now they come out in a formation with Thomas in the slot. Reed to the left of Thomas, and wide out is Lofton. And the throw wide open is Thomas. Touchdown! Oh, my. Thurman Thomas. $20 yards on the play.
Thomas on the inside. He's got Romanowski, 53 linebacker on him. Now they've got a formation that they know where they got a linebacker on Thurman Thomas. That will never work. I have a feeling Marv Levy and his offensive staff are going to exploit that formation a lot more. Seifert's looking for something else to do against that formation.
Christie's trying for point. Frank Reich to hold, and it just does squeak through. 73 yards, 7 plays. Touchdown to Thomas. It's 14-10. And Thomas, who scored 4 times against the Rams in the winner in the opener at Rich Stadium, has his 5th score of the year. Beautiful throw from Kelly, and Thomas, who had the 25-yard run with a screen pass. Andre Reed a 30-yard catch, and then the touchdown play of 20 as Christie kicks it off. 14-10 San Francisco, a short spinner that comes down to Mark Logan. Former Miami Dolphin. Logan to the 29-yard line, and Kurt Schultz, the rookie safety man for Buffalo, the tackler. Let's go back to the touchdown. How did it work, Bob?
Okay. We're going to watch 36, Merton Hanks, a defensive back, make the call to draw Romanowski, the linebacker, out in single coverage. Watch what happens. He'll move right out there, and suddenly on that single coverage, that's what Buffalo wants, and you can see the net result. Romanowski tries to hold him up a little bit. Another great throw by Jim Kelly. 6
and
for Thomas.
Romanowski was actually picked off by one of his own defenders. 14-10. And Steve Young goes to work. Take the Waters. Wide open, Sherrard, 50-40. And finally brought down at the Buffalo 33 by Conlon and Williams. How open can you get?
Dick, again, a great play-action fake. Held both the linebackers and the defensive line right at the line of scrimmage. On motion, Sherrard again up inside the coverage. The crossing patterns are working for the San Francisco 49ers. That should come as no great surprise to Buffalo. San Francisco's run these crossing patterns forever. Now watch the linebackers in the line. All 6 that you see, they're tied to the line of scrimmage. 97, Bennett steps up. Smith hanging on the line of scrimmage. That's just the space that Young needs to make the completion.
39 yards on the play. First catch by Sherrard. Taylor hasn't caught a ball. Rice is on the sidelines, and Odessa Turner, Mike Sherrard, and now the rookie Ricky Waters. Look at him gun all the way to the 12-yard line.
Well, Dick, for whatever reason, the Buffalo defense hasn't shown up yet. I mean, we're already in the second quarter here. They have not shown up. They are not doing anything at the defensive line of scrimmage that's worth really looking at and screaming about. See the bodies falling all over the place. Poor tackling by Kelso. He almost breaks the tackle of Nate Odoms. They're not here yet. They better get here in a hurry.
7:50 left in the first half. San Francisco leads 14-10. Some brilliant offensive plays both sides. Here's Taylor's first catch, and he's ridden out of bounds by Odoms at about the 7.
I wonder if John Taylor and Jerry Rice get all this attention about their pass receiving skills, and it's justified. But these two are two of the best blockers you will find in the NFL. No one talks about it. Only the defensive backs are aware of how treacherous these guys on any running play.
And pump a little more air into that helmet. Those internal airbags that help protect the head inside these modern day helmets of Jerry Rice. Maybe he is coming back in. 2nd and 5. Young. Eyes in the back of his head. Slips and throws it away. Oh, that's going to be grounding. The only 49er near there was 67, Roy Foster, unless they ruled him already down. Darryl Talley. Red Cash and the referee did not throw a flag.
Dick, the only thing I can tell you is the referee is the only guy who can call roughing or intentional grounding or roughing the passer. His first priority is to watch that quarterback to protect him. When Young was flushed out of the pocket, Red Cashion was looking to call, is there any contact here, to call down on contact? What's going on? His responsibility is to protect the quarterback. And because Young is out to his left, see, I think Cashion is watching the tackle there.
So the 49ers get a break. There's no loss on the play. 3rd and 5. To Rathman, just a little too much on the lead, and so Kofor and the field goal unit comes on.
That's the first pressure that Buffalo has put on Steve Young in the pocket. That time it was Cornelius Bennett. Came with good pressure from the outside, and that really is the first time we've seen anybody in the face of Steve Young. He finally gets there, but we've not seen much pass rush from the Buffalo Bills so far.
Kofor missed from 33 yards early in the game. This one not much more than an extra point. It'll be 25 or 24. They'll call it 24. The spot will be just inside that 25-yard line. Steve Bono to hold. And Kofor hits that one. He just barely kissed one through. A banker. Right at that left upright and through. 17-10. San Francisco leads. Third quarterback. It's Kofor kicks it off. 17-10. The Niners lead. Fuller at the goal line. Henderson downfield to get in first, and then 3 or 4 San Francisco special teamers there to make the tackle. But there's the man who made the play, Keith Henderson. Back to the field goal try.
Kofor does not look good. Initial stages of this game, he obviously hits the home upright because he gets the favorable bounce and the 3 points count. And George is saying, I'd rather be fishing. You got to do it this way.
Go up to Bodega Bay. You know, a coach like Seifert could get grave. Like
yes, wouldn't that be awful?
What a nice man he is. He's solid as a rock. 49ers 2-1 possession time, but Kelly and Buffalo trailing by only a touchdown. Plenty of time off the play action, and Reed can't make the diving catch. Burton Hanks was on his heels.
Should have been a flag there. Got their legs tangled right out of the break. Hanks was not looking back for the football. It just impeded Andre Reed just enough that he could not get to that completion.
They're looking at the other late game scores today. And the first penalty of this game, as the flag goes down apparently against the Buffalo Bills, illegal use of the hands. Mike Walter hearing the options from Red Cashin.
Offensive pass interference, number 35. Penalty is declined. Second down.
Carwell Gardner, the fullback.
Well, we got a fullback out here on a defensive back. Yeah, when the ball is in the air, Carwell, you can't make contact. That's just a little too obvious.
They won't give me a pick play. I'll do my own picking. Kelly scrambling, refusing to slide down, and tackled at the 14. A pickup of 4.
The intended receiver was Andre Reed. Excellent coverage by the linebackers of the 49ers. And he put it away. Did not want to throw one up here for San Francisco to pick off.
They spotted at the 15, 3rd and 5. Screen to Thomas, well read. Brilliant running, and now he's in the clear. One man to beat. And out of bounds finally at the San Francisco 42-yard line. What incredible individual running prowess by Thurman Thomas.
Actually, they don't sell this screen that well. Again, you can see Romanowski 53 is right there. But a good block by Parker 74, and the rest is Thurman Thomas.
43 yards, just reversed the numbers on his uniform. That eluding Romanowski, he just left the ground. That little skip, the great runners having that ability not to give any solid target to hit.
Takes himself out, boy. When you ship him back to Buffalo, you make sure he's packed in styrofoam. You don't want anything to happen to him.
Already from scrimmage over 100 yards for Thomas. His replacement, Kenneth Davis, to the 39-yard line. Romanowski made the tackle.
Dick, I even think I noticed Buffalo going into a huddle after that last play, too.
So Thomas catching his breath on the sidelines. The last 3 years, the leader in the NFL, most yards from scrimmage. Last year, 1,400 yards plus rushing, over 6, had 62 catches. Over the middle to Reed, and Merton Hanks rodeos him down at the 27-yard line. First down, Buffalo.
Buffalo does a good job, too, on these crossing patterns. They run Andre Reed right underneath the coverage. Hanks, to my way of thinking, a surprise starter here for San Francisco. Looks like he's drawing coverage on Reed, at least in the first half.
Reed, the Pro Bowler, solid half, 80 yards on 4 catches. Hanks, who played at Iowa, he's in his 2nd year. Thomas back in. Kelly going deep to Lofton.
Should have been caught.
That had touchdown written on it. A perfect toss by Kelly. Lofton doesn't drop many of those. Flag is down in the backfield of Buffalo.
Davis 25 in coverage. James Lofton would say that's inexcusable.
The all-time yardage leader in the NFL.
Roughing the passer, personal foul, number 97, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Ted Washington, defensive lineman from Louisville, gets Kelly late.
There's one guy in the NFL I know for sure you can't intimidate as a quarterback. There he is right there, number 12. Plays this game like a linebacker. Would be out there on the special teams if they let him.
Penalty on Washington. First down, Buffalo at the 13. This is Thomas, runs into his own man, and then wrapped up from behind by Tim Harris.
That is certainly a running play that Buffalo likes to use and use a lot. Tim Harris, playing the elephant, does a good job of catching that play from behind.
4 minutes to go in the half. Buffalo in striking distance to tie this game, trailing 17-10. Carwell Gardner in the game.
Here's the formation again. Thomas on Romanowski.
And it's to Thomas again, tackled at the 5-yard line. Romanowski, and finally tackled by Mike Walter, number 99.
Dick, it is Walter. I misidentified the linebacker, but in motion they were trying to get the same effect that they had on the touchdown. Draw Thomas out there, get a linebacker on him. Actually, it's pretty good coverage by Walter.
That's a big call for Buffalo at the 5-yard line, 3rd and 2. They're not looking for a field goal. Kelly wants 6, working off the pitcher's mound. The nose tackle, and the field goal comes on. Good coverage by the secondary of San Francisco.
Yeah, Kelly also didn't get any help when he flushed out of the pocket going left. You're taught as a receiver that when the quarterback runs left, anybody on the left, get out of the way. Anybody on the right, run left with the quarterback. Now watch what happens. The only choice he has out here is Carwell Gardner. Should throw up right there. He's doing the right thing. The rest of the receivers just stop dead. Kelly had no receiver to go to.
Steve Christie, plan B from Tampa Bay, looks for his 4th consecutive field goal and has it. So with 2:31 left in this opening half, it's San Francisco 17, Buffalo 13. And it has been a very entertaining half of football. Super Bowl, that'll be January in Pasadena, but the team that has represented the AFC, the Bills, certainly one of the teams to beat on the AFC side, and San Francisco winning their last 6 after a disastrous 4-6 start. But the 6 losses were all by a touchdown or less, and many felt the 49ers, although they didn't make the playoffs last year, at the end of the season, were as good as anyone in the entire league. Christie showing that leg power again, denying a return. And Ant Lee will take the kneel down and the touchback at the 20. We still haven't seen a punt in this half, have we? No punts. They're the first half possessions for the 49ers, getting a chance to score and missing a short field goal, 33, and then 2 touchdowns and the 3-pointer. And Buffalo stopped once on a Kelly fumble, and they've gone field goal, touchdown, field goal since. Time 2:25 as Young just 7 yards shy of 200 yards passing in this first half. That would have been for 200 as Jamie Williams, the tight end, didn't quite reach out for that one. Spider-Man asked him, what do you call your other tight end here, Brent Jones? He said, well, the way he reaches out, he's Plastic Man. Maybe that was a Jones pass. Spider-Man couldn't get it.
Steve Young, I had a chance to have a conversation with him in the offseason. He told me that the biggest distraction he's had playing in San Francisco is not Joe Montana, but just the fact that every year he's mentioned as part of a trade going somewhere else from San Francisco.
Waters in motion. And there's the open man. And now into the open. Mike Sherrard, a foot race. 30 and out of bounds at the Buffalo 24. Another big play. San Francisco.
Man, I'm telling you, the big plays that this team has generated over the years. You see 31. Jackson kind of drops coverage. The net result is Sherrard is again wide open. I mean, we're not talking about people who are kind of open. They are wide open. And one of the attributes you always want for a quarterback is to stand in there when you know you're going to get hit. Well, Hansen lays a shot right on Steve Young. He's still able to get it off.
And Mike Sherrard, 2 catches, one for 39 yards, another for 56 yards. When we return, San Francisco with a first down at the Buffalo. Over 500, 520 to be exact. San Francisco a 300-yard half. Waters, he almost took it all the way to the 15-yard line. Mark Kelso was the last Bill.
Dick, Buffalo is now taking some defensive chances. That was a blitz.
Walt Corey, the defensive coordinator, on his swizzle sticks. He says he's well supplied. Got what, 10,000 of them in the mail this week. That'll last him into the 24th century. Second down, a long one. This is Henderson. And a first down at the 12 as Keith Henderson, University of Georgia product, rumbles for 3.5. Phil Hansen and Darryl Talley collaborated on the stop, and back comes Tom Rathman. Henderson will go out.
I think Henderson runs that play just because he's got a little better speed than does Rathman. Rathman more of the blocker than Henderson the ball carrier in that situation, but that's the counter that made so popular by the Washington Redskins.
San Francisco has 2 timeouts, not using one, so the clock running. 47 seconds left in the half. First down at the 12. Give to Waters, tripped up, and he falls at the 8-yard line. Looked to be Jeff Wright, who reached out a big mitt. Nose tackle of the Bills and made the tackle, and George Seifert spends his second timeout. 36 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 7. They have 1 timeout left. 2nd down 7, so Buffalo has to figure Young's going to throw. And it's Young. Complete to Rathman, but a gain of only 2 to the 6. Now they're going to mark it at the 7-yard line, and the clock runs. Young trying to get his offense back in position. They don't want to spend their time out here. 3rd down and 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, Taylor.
You're not supposed to be able to run a square out, a simple square out for a touchdown. That's what Taylor does. Inside release. Odoms lets him go. Boy, I'm telling you, this Buffalo defense has not played the way it normally can, but that's a nice, tricky move.
That's a veteran's move. He tailored that. He made it look like I'm not going to get the ball all the way, and Young says, there it is, a Hummer. 80 yards and 7 plays. Another fine drive led by Steve Young. Kofor hits the extra point. 11 seconds left, and a flag is down.
That's holding against the 49ers. Odom should not have bought that bit of salesmanship by Taylor.
He's a good salesman.
Yes,
he worked for Reggie Jackson Chevy, selling cars one year, and now perhaps enamored of those wheeled vehicles. He said his dream is to
Holding during the kick, number 98 of the offense. 10 yards, we'll retry.
They'll have to retry the kick. His dream now, Taylor's, is to become the NFL version of the postman, Karl Malone. He wants his own 18-wheeler. And we could, this sounds like a future show. We get the pro stars and their 18-wheelers. We'll come up with something. Get John Faratzis to produce it.
The 90s version of Route 66. Is that what you're telling me?
Kofor able to hit that extra point from 10 yards farther back. So the score is 24-13. We'll have the Domino's Pizza halftime report with Bob Costas, Ricky Waters, hero O.J. Simpson, Will McDonough. They'll have all the scores for you and highlights, early and late games. Kansas City beat Seattle 26-7 today. And how about your old buddy in Cincinnati, Sam White's down at Tampa Bay? He's 2-0.
Break up the Bucks.
11 seconds and time perhaps for the kickoff and a play. And then we'll go to New York for you for the Domino's Pizza. Half 30 minutes, averaging 9.6 yards a play, the 49ers. 9.6 each play of this half. Kelly and Buffalo's moved it well, too, but Niners almost unstoppable. Brad Lamb to the 15, and that's all. Mark Logan made the tackle.
Dick, you mentioned the 325 yards of offense by San Francisco. That's going to wear out this Buffalo Bills defense for the second half. Kelly, I think, knows this defense of Buffalo last year faced the most plays of any team in the NFL. Kelly now needs a big drive, and it's not going to happen at the end of the first half. And he's going to go in and going to have to apologize to his defense a little bit here. But it's been Thurman Thomas for Buffalo in this first half, hasn't it?
Well, they'll regroup. A terrific offensive show this first half to the delight of the San Francisco crowd at Candlestick. Thurman Thomas was brilliant, but the 49ers team and offense builds a 24-13 lead at the intermission. We'll be back after these words from your per play. Buffalo 7.4 every play, and the 49ers 9.4 per play. And you know what? I haven't heard one cry, "We want Bono." Have you heard anything?
No, not at all.
Maybe Marv Levy would like to have Bono in there, as Young has been outstanding. Now it's Jim Kelly in the no huddle. Buffalo #1 in the National Football League in rushing last year, but only 33 yards in the first half. They, like San Francisco, had a lot of short passes turned into long runs. Thurman Thomas in particular, and Thomas getting the ball and picks up 4 yards on the first play of the second half. Ball pops out of there after the tackle.
And Dick, if there is such a thing as a critical drive for the Buffalo Bills in this game, I think it comes on this one. Their defense had a rest now to halftime. A long sustained drive here for Buffalo would help their defense a great deal, kind of recatch their breath, get used to what's going on. And I think Jim Kelly and his offense is well aware of that.
Lofton far out to the right. Reed is in the slot.
Yeah.
And a confusion, and Will Wolford pulled up off the line of scrimmage.
Before the snap, false start, number 69 on the offense. 5 yards, still second down.
Only the second penalty of the game, first on Buffalo.
This is one of the dangers you have at running the offense at the line of scrimmage. If somebody misses the signal, there's usually a standard snap count, unless there's an audible, and then the snap count changes. Wolford didn't get a message somehow. Looked like they're about to run the counter there, Dick.
Back to the 19-yard line, second and 11. Kelly over the middle to Reed, his favorite pattern. And Reed has a first down at the 31-yard line. Romanowski rides him down. Andre Reed, 13 yards on the play.
They again came in the formation. Thomas, 34, just inside Reed. This time they run the underneath pattern by Reed. He makes the catch. Nice pickup. Well, that's worked and worked consistently for Buffalo.
Reed, who had 81 catches last year to lead the Bills. Thomas, some hard yards off the right side to the 36, where he's tripped up by Pierce Holt. Thomas, who said he was very busy in the offseason. That MVP award Made him quite an attraction around the country. He has his mother and father watching him here today. They flew in from Houston, and his grandmother lives over in Oakland, and so it's a little reunion for the Thomas clan.
Got an injury out there. Looks like it's Whitmore, the safety. Looked like he was grabbing his leg there, like it was cramping up on him in a little bit. You know, it's hot out here in the Candlestick today.
And Whitmore, the former New York Giant, helped off the field. A big hitter. Meanwhile, Jerry Rice, who was injured in the first quarter, continues to pace along the back of the San Francisco bench as he was KO'd, and fortunately not seriously, but they're not going to play him unless they're absolutely sure that he has full mental faculties.
Actually, that's when a guy like George Seifert earns his money as a head coach. You know, Jerry Rice, with his reputation, with his competitive spirit, has gone up to him, but George Seifert probably 3 or 4 times said, "I'm fine, I can play." Seifert said, "Get out of here, shut up, don't talk to me anymore, you're not playing."
Well, they hardly have been wanting Rice's talents the way that Sherrard and Odessa Turner have filled in. They've been plenty of offense. Audible, 2nd and 5. Buffalo at the 36. A little delay and some problems, but then Thomas spins outside. And then out of bounds at the 47-yard line with a big game. Howard Ballard made the block.
Dick, I asked him what this play was last night. Remember 15S? He said they run the counter to him. He said, "I'm staring right there at the defensive end. I got to count on Howard Ballard or someone making a block on the outside guy." He gets Johnson 55 and a nice 11-yard pickup for Thurman Thomas.
Gives him 43 yards rushing. His bigger yardage has come pass receiving. Down the middle to Metzelaars, the tight end. He doesn't have a lot of speed, enough for the end zone. Yes, touchdown. Oh, that was dangerously close to a touchback for San Francisco. Metzelaars on the goal line. As he's hit, he fumbles, but on the goal line, he had broken the plane, and the big guy, 53 yards for the score. Dana Hall gets him at the 5. Metzelaars leaning forward. Well, on a replay, they might have had that down at the 1-yard line. Knees were down.
He is 6'7". If Metzelaars were 6'4", that's a fumble, and San Francisco goes the other way.
Well, it might have been ruled a fumble. His knees were down. They might have seen it that way as well. But 53-yard score. Metzelaars, who's not known for the long yardage, but he was so wide open and did put a good move on the defensive back. That's his longest career reception in his more than 100. Christie adds the extra point, so Buffalo does come out. The offense delivers 7. It's a 4-point game. Domino league games. Yes. You don't even need a punter. Both teams just marching without mercy down and across, and Pete Metzelaars, his longest ever touchdown catch at all, 53 yards. 24-20, and a high hopper. Ant Lee, the rookie, across the 20 to the 22-yard line, where Kurt Schultz makes still another tackle. And let's see Metzelaars catch again.
Nothing fancy about this, Dick. He basically is from the line of scrimmage uncovered. Now, I don't know what San Francisco has in mind here, but totally uncovered. Nice move there. The next point we make, watch the official at the top of the screen. He has a perfect viewpoint to determine whether or not Metzelaars is breaking the plane of the goal line. He says yes without hesitation. 6 points count. No review.
11th play of 20 yards or more in this game. And now it's Steve Young. Play action. And breaks out of 2 tacklers' grasp. He's tough to bring down. And Cornelius Bennett forces a fumble that goes out of bounds to San Francisco. And a flag is down.
What a move. I mean, Steve Young avoids the sack of 2 great sackers, Darryl Talley and Bruce Smith.
Young, a great runner, and for most coaches to have a mobile quarterback, and I know Bill Walsh salivated over the thought of having someone who could throw the ball so well and also could run the football. And I think what they're talking about is that Steve Young might have batted that ball out of bounds.
Batting the ball number 8 of the offense. 10 yards, still first down.
So to avoid the fumble being recovered, he slapped it out of bounds. Let's see it.
He slaps it out.
Yep.
That takes some athletic ability with Cornelius Bennett hanging on you. But it's true. It's a good call by Red Cashin and his crew. See, Odom's 37 strips it away. He's able to get down there and get his hand on it, and it does roll out of bounds. Smart play. You take the 10 yards. You still got possession.
That might be a very sagacious -10, as that had Bills all
Wait
around
a minute. Oh, I'm not letting you. Sagacious?
A wise effort by Steve Young.
Yes.
Academic All-America at BYU. 13-yard line. Young underneath to Sherrard. Breaks a tackle out of bounds at the 26, and Young hit by Cornelius Bennett, I believe, as he delivered that last one. Bennett was on him.
That former GTE Academic All-American is on his backside at the end of this one. Bennett does a good job of getting by Rathman, 44, and he is parked. But those BYU Cougars, they're tough. Again, an underneath pattern by San Francisco. Sherrard taking the place of Jerry Rice. They like to run those underneath ones and picks.
Pick up a 14 on the play. Sherrard now has 107 yards, subbing for Rice on just 3 catches. Waters attracting 3 Bills. Gains only a yard. Shane Conlon, number 58, a key man on the play. Sherrard, who his mother was an Olympian. They honored the Northern California Olympic stars through the years at halftime. His mother was in Rome in in Melbourne in '64. She was a hurdler. He says, I had all my athletic talent my mother shared.
No telling how good a receiver this kid might have been had he not broken his leg twice in the same spot. Forever slowed him down. Still got good speed, but not that blazing speed he used to have.
In motion out of the backfield, Sherrard. Young gets away from it. Look at this. All kinds of room. 40. Talley finally runs him out of bounds, and they're looking for a flag as Talley hit him right on the sidelines. I don't see one.
Looked to me like Talley just backed off a little bit, and there's canvas on the sideline. Looked like Steve Young just tripped.
20-yard scramble.
Again, confusion on the Buffalo defense. Henderson out there in front. Young saying, come on, hit somebody. Please hit somebody. Then at the sideline, we'll see what happens. I think Talley kind of takes it easy on him. How about you? We can disagree. It's all right.
Well, that's a tough call. I'm glad I don't have to make them. The fans thought that Talley could have laid off. Didn't need to put his hands on him. Young has scrambled 4 times for 37 yards. First down at the San Francisco 47. Rathman to the Buffalo 47, where Mike Lodish made the tackle. George Seifert grew up San Francisco, was an usher as a kid at Old Kezar Stadium, cheered for the John Brodys and Leo Nomolinis and Hugh McElhennys. And, what a thrill for any man to be able to grow up dreaming of being an athlete, dreaming of the sport he loved, football, and now to be the head coach of the NFL franchise, win a Super Bowl. Seifert at 52.
Dreams do come true, don't they?
For the workers. Rathman again, and Conlon and others make the tackle at the 45. Jamie Williams and a Buffalo Bill. Cornerback James Williams in a little push and shove. The Williams clan. Don't call me Bill.
Mr. Williams, world-class speed. I mean, I know that that phrase is thrown around a lot in the NFL, but one of the game's fastest people. In fact, he has supplanted Darrell Green when it comes to world-class speed in the NFL.
Played at Fresno State nearby. 3rd and short. Henderson gets a hole and fumbles the ball, and they have fumbled. No, they say Buffalo recovers, and a break for the Bills. They take it away at the 40-yard line.
Geez, it looked like Jamie Williams, 81, had it. Somehow it bounced loose, and Buffalo comes up with the fumble recovery.
Bruce Smith, let's see if he didn't force the fumble.
That's Wallace, 74. Smith inside, jumps inside. Oh, it pops the ball right out. That big, strong left arm.
So Buffalo with a turnover, trailing 24-20. Elaborate on that turnover. Smith punching the ball free from Henderson, and Cornelius falling on it at the 40 of Buffalo. You can't afford to lose the pumpkin in this game because possession means points. The defense unable to cope with either offense. 24-20. Thomas. Oh, there's a good hit as Pierce Holt charging into the ball carrier Thomas. Holt, who was the oldest rookie in the league when he was drafted in '88, 26 years old, and well-told story of his after high school working various jobs, construction, farm work, and then went to Angelo State. Kelly lots of time, and he finds Beebe at the 45 of San Francisco. That's a first down.
Everywhere you look for both of these offenses, weapons. I mean offensive weapons. Beebe on the outside, just a simple square in, runs inside the underneath coverage. Kelly has time, makes the catch, ball bobbled a little bit.
Good pop by Eric Davis, almost forced the fumble. This is Andre Reed, nearly 10 more yards. Mike Walter, number 99. Dan Hampton is not his hero. 99 worn by the Danimal. Nice to see him in our New York studios and get his keen eye and what he's seeing today. Kelly on second and less than a yard. Boy, is he open? He's got 11 more yards and a first down at the 25. Is it this easy?
No, but they're doing it out of formation. There's Thurman Thomas out inside Reed. Lofton outside. San Francisco's going to the zone, and so all they're doing is running 5 and 6 and 7 yard hitches, and they're wide open.
Reed, who had only 2 catches against the Rams, has 7 today. And here it is, the triple left. Same 3 men. Kelly looks it off. Throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Metzelars again. And Buffalo, for the first time, has the lead.
Well, George Seifert, the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, is primarily a defensive guy. Here's Metzelars. There's so much attention paid to the outside guys. Metzelars free down the middle to make the reception. This has happened many times to this defense today. They just forget Metzelars. He even does a pirouette.
24 yards on the play.
He does a 360, still gets it.
Christie adds the extra point. Pete Metzelars, 2 touchdowns today, and Buffalo leads. The 32-year-old veteran from Wabash College, Pete Metzelars, with a career game. 3 catches, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns with Keith McKellar injured. Metzelars, the starting tight end, known more for his blocking than his pass catching. Some big plays in this second half, and Buffalo leads 27-24, quickly converting the fumble recovery and going 60 yards for the lead. Christie hits it deep. Out comes Amp Lee. And caught by an ankle as Steve Tasker, the Pro Bowl special teamer of the Buffalo Bills, makes the stop.
Dick, as we look at the touchdown, it's very telling here when you see what happens. As from this formation with Thurman Thomas out, look what these guys are doing. They're looking right at the quarterback. First indication, zone. So they've decided against this formation, we're going total zone. They completely forget Pete Metzelars. Look at them all looking at the quarterback. Tim Harris is the closest man in coverage. The elephant, 92.
And of course, that was that triple left formation. So all the receivers, other receivers were left, and Kelly saw nothing there. And Metzelars wide open. Now it's Steve Young's turn, and he screens it beautifully to Rathman. Cornelius Bennett. There's a big league tackle.
Oh. Whoa. That, you don't coach that. I mean, he is inside the tackle, outside the guard, avoids both of them, and stops Rathman for
half yard.
A half yard. But watch 97. You'll see the whole thing go out of the picture. And 67 is Foster. Look at, boy, that, I'm telling you, that is well played.
Bennett, who missed most of the summer, a late signee with Buffalo. Young under pressure, hits Taylor. He's got great speed. And is all the way to the Buffalo 47, and the big plays continue. 32 on that one.
There's nothing to this pattern. James Williams is a man in coverage. It's a hitch. Just a brilliant move by John Taylor to the outside, and the speed. Kelso finally knocks him out of bounds. This is looking like the old American Football League.
John Taylor was an outstanding baseball player in high school in New Jersey. His brother Keith now has moved from Indianapolis to New Orleans. Look at that.
Gracious.
Over 700 yards, and we have 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Buffalo leading by 3. Ricky Watters to the 40-yard line. Almost the way things are going, throw that one back in. That was only 6 yards.
We're going for trophy.
Let's play that one over.
Absolutely. We want trophy plays here today. Ones you hang on, PR plays. Personal records, public relations. They write stories about them and make highlight films of them.
Watters, who had a 9-yard loss in one play, and yet still comes out with 56 yards rushing so far today. It's Watters again. Good blocking in front. He breaks the tackle. And finally Carlton Bailey wraps him up at the 36-yard line. That'll be close to another first down. There's Bailey, who has taken over a starting inside linebacker job. 54.
A nice little sweep here run by San Francisco, and a huge block. Tom Rathman on Bruce Smith. Watters has great ability there to juke away. Watch 44 come out of the picture, come back in the picture on Bruce Smith. Cuts him right at the legs, puts him on the ground. That'll slow down the defense now. That'll give you some big plays.
First down, just outside the Buffalo 35. 4 minutes and 9 seconds left in the third. Buffalo leads 27-24.
Confusion by Buffalo here. Too much time.
Young trying to change his play, and by the time
5 yards, still first down.
his backs were in position, delay a game 5 yards, a rare penalty. I don't think the officials have had time with all these big plays to call too much.
Arms are tired from sticking them in the air, signaling touchdown. And this is not one of his favorite kind of games now.
His mind is defensively.
Absolutely.
He was the defensive coordinator under Walsh, and that's his strength. Now this is even if San Francisco wins, it's going to be a tough week for that defense here in San Francisco, because Seifert is proud of that side of the ball. Wide open Jamie Williams. Carlton Bailey, a fumble. Is it going to count? Apparently, and it's picked up by Nate Odoms. Odoms gets a block. 30, 40, out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Boy, I see a lot of officials standing around indicating nothing.
So apparently that is ruled a fumble by Williams and a return by Odoms.
Upon further review, no, we can't say that anymore, can we? He's got his choice. Sherrard 88, Williams 81. Ball is loose. No question about it.
You know, so I tell you, those officials know what they're doing. They don't need the instant replay. They can see it and call it.
Upon further review, the play stands as called. Buffalo ball.
I got a job for you.
Wouldn't it be great?
Williams fumbled, forced by Carlton Bailey. Remember Bailey, big fumble man in the AFC Championship game. Took it in for the touchdown against Denver. That was the difference in Buffalo, not Denver going to the Super Bowl. Kelly off play action, first down, downfield to Reed. Was he juggling? Whoa, no catch. He was juggling, and a good call at the 35 of San Francisco. Reed won't miss many of those.
He did not catch it cleanly, and of course you have to have that second foot down. 1, 2, 1. That's a good call. Didn't get the second foot down. Hanks was the man in coverage. That formation has worked well for the Buffalo Bills as he leaves. Looks like he may have hurt something here.
Reed with 7 catches today against San Francisco a couple of years ago. He had 10 catches. Loft, and he was hit before the ball arrived, and there's the flag. A late flag, but a proper call. Griffin was there too soon.
Thought he got away with it. He was clapping his hands. There's Reed on the sideline. He did take himself out. See what he's... Usually when you squeeze your hand
Pass
like that.
interference. Number 29 on the defense. First down.
First down. Lofton on the inside. There you see Griffin. And we see the contact. Yeah. Puts his arm around him. Late flag. But I think that's a good call.
Well, it's a first down at the 49 of San Francisco. Not much there. Those quick-feet at work. Larry Roberts, 91, made the tackle. Roberts from Alabama, part of that tremendous draft San Francisco in 1986. Steve Tasker has come in at wide receiver for Andre Reed. Tasker without a catch this year, but Kelly told us earlier this summer that he runs as fine a routes as anyone. Kelly, pump faking. Oh, he just refuses to slide down. He wants the challenge, and as you said, plays this game with linebacker mentality. He's just inside the 40.
And same formation again where they had Thomas flanked out. He's trying to get the ball to Tasker. 89 can't. Watch this nice little move. Whoop. Eric Davis goes to the ground. Jim Kelly jumps over him.
Did you see a little Tasker throw his body into Larry Roberts, a man almost 100 pounds heavier? He took good block. Third and a yard. Andre Reed, apparently they're taping his fingers, and he will be back.
I'll tell you why they went in the huddle on that last play.
Rob Awolf, the new tight end, and stacked up Thomas, and he may have fumbled.
Looked like it was loose.
He didn't make the first down. Did he fumble the ball? Check that. Kenneth Davis, not Thomas, on the short yardage. They used Thomas against the Rams down on the goal line. Rare for Buffalo, and Thomas kind of liked it last week. But Davis is the short yardage man, and the 49ers think they have the ball. Red Cash and no signal yet.
You just saw Buffalo go back in the huddle there. The reason they did it is Mitch Farrat checked in as an extra offensive lineman. Whoa, 49ers ball. Nothing fancy, just straight ahead. Walter, 99, knocks the ball loose. And then, I don't know, in some of those pileups like that, Dick, we got Buffalo and San Francisco playing here. A guy from Green Bay may come up with the football. You don't know.
All new season premieres NBC Wednesday night. First down San Francisco. The fumble recovered by Dennis Brown. Ricky Waters through a hole. Has 10, has 15 yards to the 45 of Buffalo. Henry Jones made the tackle.
Dick, that San Francisco offense, the offensive line has done an extraordinary job today. You can watch right here and see the double team by Harris Barton, 79. Great lead block by Rathman on 58. Conlon. And Ricky Waters is up through there so quick. Watch 44 on the lead block the next time he does it.
Waters ripping off 15 yards. Rathman and Waters behind Steve Young. Fake to Waters. And it is Phil Hansen wrapping up Steve Young with an assist from Bruce Smith. Hansen with the first sack of the game.
Hansen blew right by Roy Foster, 67. Just an outside rush. Went right around Roy Foster. That's one. Here's Foster. He comes right out here. Very, very quick move by Hansen. Gets to the quarterback. Good swim move. Defensive linemen call that.
Back at the 46 of San Francisco, a 10-yard loss. Hansen gaining nearly 20 pounds this year from his rookie season out of North Dakota State. Young, Lodish all over him, tried to dump it off to Keith Henderson, incomplete. This time it was Lodish in the middle getting to the quarterback, 73.
But all you could see out of that pile was the top of Steve Young's arm. Just enough from the elbow to the hand to get the ball off. It looks like now Buffalo is establishing a little bit better control of the defensive line of scrimmage, getting some pass rush, and Walt Corey has settled down his defense. They're staying where they normally are. Smith on the far side, Cornelius Bennett on the near side.
Third down and 20 as Kurt Schultz, an extra defensive back in. John Taylor left. Odessa Turner and Mike Sherrard to the right. Young down the middle and wide open. Taylor breaking tackles. He'll go all the way for a touchdown. No fumble. He crossed the goal line. San Francisco reclaims the lead.
Just a straight drop back. Henry Jones 20 misses the tackle. And on a guy like John Taylor on a team like San Francisco, that's death. When you hit them, they've got to go down.
Taylor's second touchdown of the game. Remember, he caught that pass kind of limp-legged into the end zone as if he wasn't the receiver with just 10 seconds left in the first half. Extra point try by Kofor. And San Francisco jumps into a 4-point lead, 31-27. How many times have we seen Taylor break tackles and do just this?
Odoms is the man in coverage. Look, he just sauntering down there again, becomes the receiver. Jones has a square shot at him. But John Taylor, who is a big, strong wide receiver. Most of the receivers you find in the NFL nowadays getting smaller and smaller, but not these 49er receivers. Kelso punches the ball out of Taylor's arm, but he has crossed the goal line.
This crowd on its feet in San Francisco in the final seconds of the third quarter.
Witnessed a game with so many big plays.
It's been a sensational treat for these fans, who happily applaud John Taylor, giving San Francisco the lead by 4. 6 seconds left in this third quarter. Steve Young now, the other end of the passing heroics, is 20 for 27, 370 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Goodness.
Took him a minute and a half to go 60 yards in 4 plays after the fumble by Kenneth Davis.
Quarterback controversy, you say? Who should start here?
Very short, this kick, and one of the linemen is going to have to... No, they duck out of the way. And it's Eddie Fuller to the 29-yard line. And that is the end of a busy third quarter. 31-27. Will return after these messages from your local station.
Cut. You see Jones come over to make the tackle, but Schultz here falls down, and that's why they can't make the tackle, and John Taylor just continues into the end zone. Jones should make this tackle, but then he trips over Schultz, and it's a foot race between Mark Kelso and John Taylor. John Taylor's going to win all those races.
54 yards. Thurman Thomas slamming up the middle. He's over 140 total yards today, rushing and receiving. Bill Romanowski makes the stop at the 38-yard line, a pickup of almost 9. Now Kenneth Davis, who fumbled when the Bills with a lead had the ball at the 40-yard line, and Davis going over the top this time has the first down at the 41. Davis has been a terrific backup to Thurman Thomas, chipped in with a solid 624 yards rushing last season. Big crowd. Candlestick holds over 66,000. Over 800 yards of offense, and we've just started the fourth period. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy. Well, if this is a preview of what might be the Super Bowl in Pasadena in January, we're in for a treat all year long. Nothing there for Kenneth Davis as Thurman Thomas on the sidelines.
Hey, he walked over to the trainer with his catches, with his yards, with his carries. Probably a little fatigue more than anything else. Looks fine. Let me give Kenneth Davis a couple of reps here.
No gain on first down. Kelly to the sidelines, and Lofton well covered by Don Griffin.
Oh, that was that little left hand by the defensive back on the receiver. The experienced defensive backs know how to use it. Watch right at the cut when Lofton breaks out. Not too much contact there. Just enough to maybe knock somebody off balance. Here comes Thurman Thomas back again. That's a great matchup, though. Griffin and Lofton.
3rd and 10, and the crowd trying to help the defense. Lofton. And he hangs on to it despite being drilled at the 39-yard line by Dana Hall, the rookie. 20 more yards, and it's Hall that doesn't get up.
Why did you tell us yesterday when we were talking to him? He said, I'm not one of those big ferocious hitters. He said, I was a cornerback at Washington, and I did a lot of blitzing, but I didn't do a lot of hitting. I'm not one of those big hammer guys. Ooh.
Well, that was a Steve Atwater type hit.
Those are the scariest kind of collisions when he's going square at him. Those are the ones that scare me to death. You remember Fuller, the safety that played here?
Did that game, yes. It was played at Stanford, and Fuller early in the game against New England. Come back, Dana Hall went off under his own power. Thane Gash has replaced him. It's first down for Kelly and Buffalo. Rolling away from pressure. Throwing deep for Thomas. Just missing as Romanowski. Boy, is he going to sleep well tonight. They've run him all over Candlestick. He knows every inch of this peninsula.
I don't know how quickly you can pray. Please overthrow him. But Romanowski is getting he's saying something like, no, please, no, please. Thank you. Thank you.
And Romanowski, who has good speed and the speed that can cover a back, but Thurman Thomas is something different going on a pattern like that. 2nd and 10. It's Kenneth Davis to the 20 or 36-yard line. Ted Washington made the tackle. And the word on Dana Hall, a slight concussion, questionable that he will return. So Jerry Rice and Dana Hall out of the game with the same injury, a blow to the head. That one self-inflicted. 3rd and 7. Kelly, who has passed for over 20,000 yards in his career, gets some more. It's Reed out of bounds. First down at the 22.
That's worked so well. Merton Hanks, the man in coverage. When you can figure out what offensive formation puts the defense in man-to-man coverage, then you can turn a guy like Andre Reed loose, and he's going to run those square outs and make yardage against most defensive backs in this league.
Davis in the backfield. He gets the call. Has the speed to get away from Thane Gash. Bumped out of bounds at the 17. A gain of 5. Don Griffin with the tackle. And they're approaching, the two teams, 900 yards in this game. And we have over 12 minutes left. San Francisco 31. Buffalo 27.
The NFL wishes they would have a Super Bowl that would be like this. You know?
We all do. Still the running back. Both Lofton and Reed to the right. On 2nd and 5. It was Metzelaars that Kelly tried to find with the pressure coming from John Johnson, number 55.
Outside linebacker blitz.
Johnson, who intercepted against the Giants a 56-yard touchdown last Sunday.
You can see Johnson begin the blitz. There should be a hot receiver for Jim Kelly to go to, but no one was looking. Here's Thurman Thomas back in the ballgame now. Watch for him here. See who covers him.
Beebe left, Reed and Lofton right, Thomas in the backfield. Intercepted. Merton Hanks at the 16-yard line. Hanks' first career interception, denying Buffalo a possible lead.
Jim Kelly shows where this is going. See, when they ran Thurman Thomas out there in the flat a little bit, he was supposed to draw. He was supposed to draw Merton Hanks out there along with the linebacker. Hanks didn't go. And suddenly, he's right in the throwing lane for Kelly to Andre Reed. Reed didn't make a particularly good break on it. He didn't turn around and come back with the football.
Part of that was he was looking for the first down yardage.
Yes, he was.
If he came back, then he would have been out of the first down range. So from the 11-yard line, San Francisco takes over. We still have not seen a punt by either team today. The only time the offense stopped by a turnover, fumble, interception. Young. Mike Sherrod to the 30. Another first down and plenty of distance from the San Francisco goal line. 18 yards on the play.
Dick, if we go back to the interception, Thurman Thomas comes out here. He's supposed to draw this guy and this guy. Reed runs the square in, but Merton Hanks doesn't bite. See, there's a little space there, and if Reed comes back hard for the ball, I think he makes the reception. But a heads-up play by Hanks gives the 49ers the ball back, and George Seifert likes the effort.
Here's Hanks, who played at Iowa. So did his wife. She was a star basketball player with the Hawkeyes. Ricky Waters. Short gain. Darrell Talley made the stop. Hanks and the defense converting turnovers. Each team has scored on a fumble turnover. And San Francisco has 2 touchdowns off their 2 fumbles. Second and 8.
I think San Francisco be wise here. Let's see a little bit of Waters here. Run the ball a little bit.
Again to throw, and it's Waters running, but with the reception, and he's out of bounds at the 33. Darrell Talley, the defender. Waters, who said last week against the Giants, or a lot of the Giants defenders telling him, hey, rookie, don't come in my area if you're smart. And so said I had to let him know that I wasn't afraid. And Talley probably giving him some veteran lecture as well.
Every rookie has to go through that. I mean, that's part of the price you pay coming into the league. Waters has made a terrific debut.
That's a compliment when those veterans do talk to you.
Sure. The guys who don't do anything, look at that.
8 yards from 500 for the 49ers, but they need more simply 5 here for a first down. Good protection.
Taylor.
And it's a first down to Taylor at the 48. San Francisco over 500 yards of offense. Talley made the tackle.
Again, John Taylor kind of floats up the field. He doesn't really accelerate here. It's inside Jones, inside 47 Kirby Jackson, and just finds the dead spot. Young finds him open. Another first down.
John Taylor, who had over 1,000 yards receiving last year, along with Jerry Rice. He had 9 touchdown catches. Rice had 14. And the big fullback to the 46-yard line from Candlesticks Park. Let's go to New York. Bob Costas with this update.
Dick, in the fourth quarter at Three Rivers, the Steelers snapped their...
Under their new coach, Bill Cowher, surprising Houston last week, and now a solid game against the Jets today. First down, second down, San Francisco, and Waters pinned and dropped for a yard loss. With 8:23 left in the fourth quarter, and San Francisco a 4-point lead in this offensive fest in Candlestick Park. Cornelius Bennett with the defensive play to bring up 3rd and 6. Candlestick Park. Candlestick got its name, was a contest when they first built this stadium back 59, 60 in the 60s, early 60s, named after a bird, candlestick, that inhabits the area. Not safe for any birds here today. Young, 23 for 30 and 405 yards passing. Fumbles the snap, picks it up, and has a first down.
Wait a minute here. What is going on?
Isn't the guard supposed to pick that up and run with it?
Yeah, that's the Fumblerooski.
Quick reactions by Young. Just picks it up.
Perfect bounce on the football, too. On the point, comes back right to him. Jones makes the tackle. Seifert saying, or Mike Shanahan maybe said, let's put this play in. No, I don't think so. Good hands. I mean, very flexible athlete. Keeps the drive alive. Home field advantage, home field bounce.
Rushed for 46 yards and passed for 405 yards. First down at the 39. Intended for Mike Sherrard, and stepping in front, I believe, was Nate Odoms. And Odoms, who had 2 picks last week against the Rams, makes a big play here, just as Merton Hanks of 49ers denied Buffalo at the other end.
And you know, it was very similar in the way the ball is thrown. This is not thrown right at the receiver. Thrown behind him a little bit. If Sherrard comes back for the football, San Francisco has it, but good interception, Buffalo's ball.
Well, the Bills last year with 5, has 3 already in the first 2 games of this season. That one stopped the 49er drive at the Buffalo 28.
Here's this formation again now.
Underneath. And it's Andre Reed to the 34-yard line. Jim Kelly's 18th completion of this game. He's 18 for 28 for 358 yards. Well, so many big numbers today. Slingshot Schneiderman, our statistician, he just quit. He said he's run out of pencils, so we're on our own. Reed with 9 catches, 133 yards. Out close to a first down.
Dick, this is the point in the football game now. Excuse me. This is a point in the football game where offensive coordinator kind of think back on what's worked formation-wise, motion-wise, and you're down by 4 points here on the road. Buffalo is now trying to inventory what worked, when, and where. And at this point, with 6:10 to go, they want to go to that stuff that's got a star, a double star, a triple star that's worked today. That's Tom Bresnahan on the sideline.
Well, what could be better for Buffalo than when they put Thomas out with both wide receivers on one side? That seems to work.
It's worked every time. But the coaches are thinking that. But the only guy in this stadium, there's Mike Shanahan, the offensive coordinator of San Francisco. Jim Kelly calls the plays on this football team. So Kelly's trying to put in his mind, trying to remember, I said, how that formation work? What coverage did we get here? This is where the value of Jim Kelly's experience pays off.
Both quarterbacks, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Thurman Thomas out to the 41-yard line on the first down carry. Ted Washington trips him up. Gain of about 3. Well, we talk about the defense is unable to stop the offenses, but boy, these are 2 teams in the NFL with such premier players at the skill positions.
Yes.
And with Ricky Waters emerging as really looks to be a top-notch runner, the 49ers have their version of a Thurman Thomas. And there's Metzelar's. What a day for this big guy, as he has another catch. He has 2 touchdowns today, and that one's good for 16 yards. Antonio Goss made the tackle.
That puts him over 100 yards. 4 catches, 113 yards, a simple out pattern, and Goss, who is the coverage linebacker, can't keep up with him. Well, everywhere that Kelly's looked, he has found Bills open.
Career game for Metzelar's. Thurman Thomas behind Big Ballard, and he's to the 36-yard line, a gain of 5, almost 6. Metzelar's biggest game, just checking on his book, 7 catches against Tampa Bay 6 years ago for 113 yards. So he has matched his career best in yardage. On 2nd and 4. Kelly. Now he throws for Lofton. And good coverage in a tough spot for Eric Davis to stay with a man that long.
Lofton did the right thing, though. You saw Kelly. Watch what happens. But when Kelly flushes to the pocket this side, up the field, get out of his way, he's going to throw it to you. Thurman Thomas should have been running to the sideline to make himself a target for the quarterback.
Lofton, who set the all-time yardage mark in receptions last week. There's that triple formation with Thomas out to the left on 3rd and 4. And they go the other way, and it is to Lofton for a first down at the 28-yard line. 27, they'll call it. Lofton, who dropped a pass that would have been a touchdown in the first half.
But see, it's single coverage. It's Davis on Lofton, and there's nobody else out this side of the field. And you can see the confidence that Kelly has in Lofton. He drops one, bam.
36 years old, and still with the speed and the moves, he really does have a Athletic body 10 years younger than his age is Thurman Thomas. Inside the 25-yard line down to about the 22. Both sides showing the wear and tear of this incredible offensive track meet.
Yeah. Hands on hips, I think, is the first indicator of players on the field when they're standing there hands on hips trying to grab a fresh breath of air.
Field goal won't do it for Buffalo with less than 4 minutes to go. They trail 31-27. This is a 2nd and 6. Seems to be some confusion. Yeah. Whoops. Flags are down. Kelly is mauled. Johnny Johnson got him. Flags are down. They may not call that a play. We'll see whether that's ruled backfield in motion or illegal motion.
That's the only thing that could help them. Play doesn't count.
It looked as if that might be the play where they snap it directly to Thomas, but you could see the confusion as Thomas and Kelly were talking before the snap.
I know.
Illegal motion in the backfield of the offense. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Well, you can see what happens here. Thurman Thomas moves before the ball is snapped, and that's what really messes the whole thing up. It was an audible. Jim Kelly tried to get the message. It did look like it was going to be the snap to Thurman Thomas.
And that's not... we have to either take the play or the penalty. The penalty doesn't deny the play underneath the Reed with running room, but he doesn't get to the yardsticks. He stopped at the 20-yard line. Looked as if he might have room inside, but Eric Davis made another solid open field tackle to deny the 1st down. So 4th down comes up and a timeout called by Buffalo with 3:37 left. It'll be a fairly long field goal try, but that would only get him within 1. Decision time. Marv Levy, 64-year-old head man of the Buffalo Bills, has made his decision on 4th and 4. They're going for it. 3:37 left in a 1,000-yard offensive show at Candlestick. Can the Bills make 4 and maintain position?
Blitz.
To the sidelines, Lofton, and he's got it at the 11. 1st down, Buffalo.
You know, I'm not so sure they didn't choose Lofton because he's out there in the skinned infield. Did you see the defensive back lose his footing? This is just a hitch by James Lofton, but Griffin, when Lofton stopped, Griffin lost his footing.
That was not an easy throw for Kelly. He had to throw right through a defender in his face. 31-27 San Francisco. Thurman Thomas breaks free. Touchdown. Thurman Thomas scoring from 11 yards out. And Buffalo has the lead 33-31.
Dick, San Francisco took a big chance. They had a double safety blitz. A double safety blitz.
And Thomas scores his 2nd today. 6 touchdowns already this year for the sensation out of Oklahoma State. Christie adds the extra point. Buffalo leads by a field goal with 3:04 remaining.
Dick, on this touchdown, I can't believe that this is the way this defense is designed, because watch these two guys. And as soon as he bounces outside, there's nobody there to touch him. I can't believe that both safeties are designed to blitz, because when they do, past the line of scrimmage, there is no one left to make the tackle. Eric Griffin, 25, gets an arm on him, but somebody was supposed to stay back there.
Marv Levy in his best college and Harvard University accent, firing up his troops on the far side. And Thurman Thomas, he'll fire you up with his numbers. He in 2 games has already total yards from scrimmage over 300 yards. He has 179 total today and 2 touchdowns, 85 rushing, 94 receiving. What a player. 73 yards in 12 plays for the Bills after the interception by Nate Odoms. And Buffalo leads 34-31. The old cliche, whoever has the ball last might win.
Yes.
That really has its mark written on this one, doesn't it?
Yes, you are absolutely correct.
Now it's Christie to kick off. He's put most of his kicks in the end zone. The wind blows it off the tee. Here's the 4th and 4 play.
Now watch what happens. Here's Lofton on the pattern, and you can see the defensive back. He loses his footing right there on the skinned portion. And see, when his foot hits, that's all Lofton needs to make a clean break and the reception to keep the drive alive.
Low skidding kick by Christie that bounces just into the end zone. And they're downed by Mark Logan. Well, let's hope there's more excitement of this sort next Sunday. NFL Live at 12:30. The big game, Denver at Philadelphia early. Cincinnati, Green Bay, Kansas City, Houston, Seattle, New England, and Raiders, Cleveland will be at the Coliseum. It'll be interesting there as to what Raider changes might be made.
Or how well Bernie Kosar is going to do against the pass rush for the Los Angeles Raiders. They're Raiders 0-2. They might be a little angry next week.
Cleveland with a date tomorrow night against Miami on the Monday night affair. 80 yards away from a touchdown, but a field goal would tie for Young and the 49ers. The toss complete. Sherrard.
Oh, he's flying all over the place here, Dick.
Nate Odoms, the defender.
On the rollout, Steve Young, one of the best quarterbacks in the league at throwing the ball. Sherrard makes the catch. I think the officials will say he would have been pushed out of bounds, although they are conferring. Ball gets loose. Bodies flying all over the place. Red Cashin, I think, is going to clear all this up for us, thankfully.
The play is 21 yards if it stands. Only the 17th time today we've had a play of 20 yards or more.
Catch is going to count, Dick.
We welcome those of you who have seen the Los Angeles Rams shut out the New England Patriots 14-0. And for you, especially Patriot fans, wondering where all the action is, right here. Buffalo 34, San Francisco 31. We've had a game that has featured one big play after another, and with just 2 minutes and 15 seconds left, San Francisco trailing by 3 has the ball out to the 49-yard line in San Francisco territory. Between them, the two teams have rushed and passed for nearly 1,100 yards. 49ers down by 3. Flatted down as Young's pass fly swatted by Cornelius Bennett. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 1 minute 58 seconds left. For the 64,053 here at Candlestick Park, 34-31. There's the timeout situation. The 49ers have all 3 left. The total yards within 71 yards of the all-time NFL record set in 1950 when the Rams played the New York Yankees, and 1,133 yards were gained. We have 1,062 yards of offense, and they're still going with 1:58 left. San Francisco's Young tries a sneak and doesn't make the first down.
Goodness, why start with that play?
Jeff Wright stuffed at the nose tackle. And with 1:47 left, timeout by San Francisco. That'll bring up 4th down and almost 1.5.
Goodness.
George Seifert will have the call. Will return. The only time a club has been stopped, fumble or interceptions. 4th and 1. Young, he'll run for it. And he's got it at the Buffalo 47. There's the value of a man who's so skilled afoot. Steve Young. His 50th yard rushing today gets a first down.
He has running back speed, and I think even though he takes his ball out like he may throw, it was run all the way. Bruce Smith, 78, closest man in pursuits. I'm glad they got that first down. It would be a grave injustice to have all these yards and the game determined on a missed quarterback sneak.
50 yards rushing, 426 yards passing for Young at the 47. The 49ers with that lead play. Bruce Smith offside, and he's saying, I was drawn on. Just look over there at that man trying to block me. 74, Steve Wallace. What does Red Cashin say?
I think that's the closest that Bruce Smith has been to Steve Young today.
Offside on the defense.
Well, let's see what Wallace and Smith were doing.
Wallace 74 was certainly up to the task against Bruce Smith. Yeah, Wallace did move, but Bruce Smith.
Yeah, a couple of little.
Yeah, you can see that.
Little bobs. Wallace, who has done a great job against Smith all day. We welcome those of you who have seen the Oilers beat the Colts in Indianapolis 20-10, and what a game in Candlestick Park of record-setting offensive proportions. Buffalo 34, San Francisco 31, 142 left. 49ers with the ball at the Buffalo 42, nearly 1,100 yards in yardage. And there's some more. Another big play to Mike Sherrard, who's subbing for the injured Jerry Rice. Rice suffered a mild concussion in the first quarter, did not return. First down at the 30. 6 catches for Sherrard, 164 yards. San Francisco with 2 timeouts left. Plenty of time for Young. Tackled, but a flag is down. Matt Darby, a rookie from UCLA, made the stop. A flag is down in the backfield of San Francisco. Holding against the Niners. The way the game has gone, San Francisco 7-0. A field goal for the Bills, and it was 14-3 San Francisco. Kelly brought him back.
Number 74 on the offense. Still first down.
Steve Wallace trying to stop Bruce Smith.
You can see that the hand movement and the arm around the waist of Bruce Smith, and that's why the flag is thrown. Continue with the scoring.
Well, the score is 24-13 at the half, San Francisco, and then the Bills took the lead for the first time in the third quarter on back-to-back touchdowns. Pete Metzelaars, the tight end, a couple of big plays and touchdowns for Marv Levy's team. And San Francisco on John Taylor's second touchdown reception, went ahead 31-27. And then a Thurman Thomas run of 11 yards has given Buffalo the lead 34-31. Rathman in the flat, bumped out of bounds by Darby at the 29-yard line, but it stops the clock with 1:08 left. Each team with 2 timeouts.
Now in this situation, you see Steve Young looking to the sideline, getting the signals not from George Seifert. They come from Mike Shanahan upstairs to an assistant coach, Brian Pariani. But there's a sequence that you practice. There's an automatic play here. That's one. And he'll call 2 plays in the huddle.
598 total yards of offense for San Francisco. 2nd and 9. And they're going for the big one. Incomplete. Intended for Sherrard. It was James Williams on the coverage. Good pump fake by Young.
Yeah, the crossing patterns have worked very well for San Francisco all day today. Looks like the Buffalo Bills are using that matchup zone that you're now hearing about in the NFL, where as a receiver comes across your area, you take him and let him go to the next guy.
Right now a field goal try would be 46 yards. Kofor is 1 for 2. He missed from 33. 3rd down and 9. Thrown a little low, and Rathman unable to pull it in as Jeff Wright had foiled the 49er plan. And here comes Kofor and the 49er field goal unit to try a tough 46-yarder. He missed from 33 yards on the first scoring chance, the first possession of the game for San Francisco. And then he made good on a short field goal, but it hit the upright and glanced in, so he's hardly been steady. 47 yards, it appears, is where Bono will kneel. This to top. And Buffalo celebrates on the far side as Kofor misses wide right.
Kofor has not had a good day, as you just said, Dick. Hit the upright once, hit another one wide, this one too wide right. Just didn't follow through, had plenty of distance.
And so Buffalo with 54 seconds left. George Seifert's body language doesn't help. It remains 34-31. Kofor, an off year last year, was 14 for 28. That was the fewest field goals in the National Football League, 14. And he's 1 for 3 today. He was 1 for 2 in the opener at New York. So kickers get in those slumps, and boy,
this is almost cruel, but Buffalo changed kickers for exactly things like that.
Scott Norwood being replaced by Steve Christie. Christie coming from Tampa Bay on Plan B, and he's been a perfect 4 for 4. So that then becomes the difference in the game.
Yes, it does.
Cornelius Bennett and Bruce Smith have had big defensive games. Bennett particularly, and Kofor. Those are tough to take home with you. Missing from 33 and 47 yards. Timeout with 45 seconds left as San Francisco hoping for a big defensive play. Next week, it's the Bills returning home against the Colts. And San Francisco goes back to New York against the Jets. And here's our lineup on the NFL on NBC. NFL Live at 12:30. Denver, Philadelphia, big game, an early game. Cincinnati 2-0 against the Packers. Kansas City has won their first 2 games. Houston 1-1. Seattle looks for its first win, as does New England. And in the late games, Cleveland. They'll play tomorrow night against Miami, and the Raiders are 0-2. Pittsburgh goes against San Diego. Well, this had all the talk of an early line on the 2 teams that could make it to Pasadena in the Super Bowl. Neither team had to punt once. That shows you how effective the offensive were. 34-31, nearly 1,100 yards and exactly 1,087 yards in offense. And in the record book, that would place it tied for 3rd all time. The Rams and Yanks in 50 had the record 1,133. San Diego, Cincinnati 1,102, and this one's the 3rd most yards ever in an NFL game. Now, following this game on most of these stations, an all-new Secret Service and an all-new eyewitness video. That's tonight on NBC. And of course, the viewers here on the West Coast will see these shows at their regularly scheduled time. Jim Kelly with a kneel down, and San Francisco spends its final timeout. That gives us a chance to thank those who provided the pictures and the sounds of this delightful game. If you're a fan of football, executive producer Terry O'Neill, our coordinating producer John Ferratzis, even Marv Levy waving to him, directed by John Gonzalez, associate director Al Zismansky, our production associate Ed Fibishoff, Steve McEwen, Tim DeKay, Mitch Geller, all the men and women. Our special thanks, Jim Lynch, Bob Coffey, Matt Krebin, Ron Lent, John Nile, Ross Schneiderman in the booth. And of course, with these losses by Kelly to run out the game, it'll be the 4th most yards in NFL history. Just to get to that statistic correctly, as you look at the rest of our friends on NBC, the Buffalo Bills go home with a very important win. 34, as in Thurman Thomas. San Francisco 31. We'll be back.
What's up, man? You know, we just held together as one team, and we said, hey, we can keep it close. You know, we'll have a good chance to win the ball game, and we just kept pecking away at the 49ers defense, and our defense came up when they had to come up.
I think everybody was so pumped up by playing San Francisco, especially Darryl. You know, I had to tell him a couple of times to settle down, and we did, and here we are now.
We earned everything we went out there for today, and I'm just happy to get out of this locker room with a win.
The Colts are next Sunday night at Rich Stadium. Plenty of other action today in the NFL, and let's check out some highlights. 7-0.